Hi everybody, it's Paul with reporting live from my sofa. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. So I wanted to go over a little, not an update, but review some legal information about Brendt Christensen and go over a couple of the court documents. So without further ado, let's go ahead and review. So I've been going through the court documents for the Brendt Christensen case, and I love doing this kind of stuff. It's very fascinating to me. And so I wanted to start reviewing some of these that kind of jumped out at me as just interesting information. So this document is going to be the final judgment in the case against him. And I'm going to be putting these up on the screen, so hopefully you can kind of read along with them. But I'm just going to go through the pertinent parts on here and talk about it. So let's start with just the first section. The defendant, was found guilty on all counts 1, 2, and 3. So now let's look at the actual the counts that he was charged with. So the first one is kidnapping resulting in death, count 1. And then number 2 is false statement. And number 3 is a false statement. So let's go down and look at what came of this. So, the defendant is hereby committed to the custody of the Federal Bureau of Prisons to be imprisoned for a total term of, count 1, life without release, count 2, 5 years to run consecutive to counts 1 and 3, then count 3, 5 years to run consecutive to counts 1 and 2. So, they just kind of lumped all those together, whatever. Obviously, the main one is that life without release. He's in there for the rest of his life. So, but where this gets more interesting to me is this. So, then it's checked off. The defendant is remanded to the custody of the United States Marshal. So then we come down here, and we go down as follows. Let's see. Criminal monetary penalties. Now, this is where I'm like, oh... So the assessment. So the defendant must pay the total criminal monetary penalties under the schedule of payments on sheet 6, which we'll go over in a second. Assessment, $300. JVTA assessment, nothing. Fine, $750,000. Restitution, 0. So then we go down here, nothing's checked. So then we come down here to this page, to the schedule of payments. Having assessed the defendant's ability to pay, payment of the total criminal monetary penalties is due as follows. A box is so the box next to A is checked. A lump sum of $750,000, $750,300 due immediately. So, no later than, not in accordance with, not payment plan right now. So, I was just like, oh my goodness. And so that's it. So, they did this to avoid him making money off of this case. Thank God. Because I do have a feeling that we would see that happen. And this is one thing they do with these people because it basically makes it, there's no reason to do this or whatever. So, I mean, $750,000, that's a huge amount of money. He has to start paying immediately. Now, I don't know how that works because most likely he'll have some kind of a job, once he gets settled into prison and all that kind of stuff. And so he'll have some type of a job. Now, they don't make, it's like, $1 a day or something. I don't know how that works, if they take a portion of that to put towards that. I don't know. But I do like that the judge did that. I know that a lot of people wanted him to go to the death. I keep saying to the death chair. They wanted him to get the death sentence, whatever that might have been. But that didn't happen. So at least we can see, he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison unless he escapes, which hopefully that won't happen because this man is not a safe person to be on the streets. But at least this shows, okay, he can't profit from this. He can't do anything like that at all. Now, a case that is similar to this, not really that wasn't reprimanded, was the staircase. And, Michael Peterson's stepdaughter, who did not stand by him, accused him, sued him in civil court or for wrongful death and got, I think, $25 million. And so that was that. So very recently, he wrote a book and published it and was essentially like, okay, well, I'm just going to donate all the money to, and I think it was basically wrongful conviction places or whatever. But he went to the defense attorneys for her or whatever and said, look, I'm going to publish this book, let's split the money. And they were like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so he said, okay, well, I'm going to still publish it and donate the money. And y'all, the book, I couldn't even read it. I couldn't even read it. It was so egotistical. So something like this, it's like, okay, if he were to ever do something, he would never get any money for it. So it would be a completely ego-driven thing, which is a possibility. But, you know, I mean, who's gonna, I mean, really? You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna read it? I mean, especially this guy. There's no real question if he did it or not. So, anyways, that's all I have right now. I'm gonna be, as I go through some of the things that y'all might be interested in, I'll kind of review them and put them up here. And so that's it. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you for hanging out with me. Don't forget to click the bell if you want to know when I'm here in YouTube land to hang out. Lots of links down below, social media, the podcast, all that. So check that out. And with that being said, I shall see you on the next video.